Welcome back, everybody. Tonight I'm going to be talking to you about a film that took me by the most absolute surprise of all time. And I also want to give a quick shout out to my buddy Tim Nieto for recommending me this movie. And I'm very, very excited to talk about it. Tonight I'm going to talk to you guys about The Oath. The Oath stars Ike Barinholtz and Tiffany Haddish, and it is a dark comedy, and it is a dark as fuck comedy. It is about a family, and they live in a time where the president has issued a loyalty oath to all of the United States, and you have to sign it by Black Friday in order to show your loyalty to the president. And if you don't, well, there's going to be a problem. This film was also written and directed by Ike Barinholtz, which I, by the way, want to give, this is the stupidest thing ever, but for some reason I thought he was Donnie Wahlberg, even though I don't know why, but I just kind of thought he was. But I thought that this film was very, very interesting. It definitely is a dig at the current political climate that we are in. It does comment on how families and people talk to each other, regardless of the fact if you are on the same side as somebody or not, especially when it comes to your family. You still have this divisiveness. Even though that you are family, you still might have some issues. And while that does hold true to some families in today's climate, I think that this is a very interesting take on it, because most of the times I feel like family members will listen to each other. And in this particular case, the family is very, very divided, and it is a clear-cut case of my side is right, yours is wrong, and there is no in between. That's it. And I'm sure that when Barinholtz was writing these characters, he wanted to make it very, very abundantly clear that maybe he doesn't want to give away what side he is on, but he definitely wanted to portray that there are the extreme people on the left and there are extreme people on the right, and just the clashing of heads between those two. Ike Barinholtz's character named Chris is on the left side, where his brother is not, and his parents are, trying to just be the in-between people of being like, hey, let's all get along, all that kind of shit. But Barinholtz's character is basically just like, I read this article and this is true here and that's true there. Whereas his brother is like, oh, you read an article? Oh, okay, so I guess that just means it's completely fucking true. Which, that is something that does happen in today's world. Everybody thinks just because they read an article or watch a YouTube video that they fucking know everything, and that's simply not the case. And I think that this film did a wonderful job commentating on that. As I said, it is a dark comedy, so there are some jokes in here that are pretty, they're pretty dry. For me, they worked a lot of the times. One of the best parts of the movie is that Ike Barinholtz gets his brother's wife's name wrong all the time, and he does it on purpose because he doesn't like her. Now, while some people probably will be like, oh, that's super repetitive and super annoying, probably, I personally found it really funny, because at first he was trying really hard to get her name right because it was a mistake, but as the holiday goes on and she starts to piss him off more, he's doing it out of spite. And it's really, really funny. I love it when somebody does something like that out of spite just to get a rise out of somebody. I think it was on the nose, and I thought it was hilarious. And then around, I want to say like the last half of the second half, so literally like halfway through the movie, there are two characters that are introduced to us, played by John Cho and some other guy. They are officers that basically are coming to Ike Barinholtz's house and say, hey, we just want to ask you a couple of questions. And well, that's when this film takes a turn. And I'm not going to lie, I did not see this coming. But once these two characters get introduced to this film, this is where the film has a big rise in tension. And while I did not expect it, I really, really enjoyed it. I was at the edge of my seat going like, what in the actual fuck is going to happen? This is going way out of left field. I'm in it though, like I'm for it, like I like this, but Jesus Christ, where is this going to go? I was very anxious for the last 40-45 minutes of this film. I was very, very anxious to see where this was going to go. I also want to mention that for comedians, Ike Barinholtz and Tiffany Haddish gave great dramatic performances when they needed to, especially Tiffany Haddish. There is one scene in particular that I was like, wow, she absolutely crushed it. Because usually with Tiffany Haddish and Ike Barinholtz, they're in lighter comedies and they're very silly and very kind of bubbly. And in this film, they're a little bit reserved, and yes, they're still funny, but it's a different type of funny, and I really enjoyed seeing them, not necessarily out of their element, but in a different one. I really enjoy that about this. So with all of my thoughts being said, I'm gonna go ahead and give The Oath a 9 out of 10. If you're looking for a different movie to watch, I think you might have found it. A lot of things that happened in this movie were just a big surprise, and I definitely recommend it for y'all. If you have seen this film, let me know in the comments down below what you thought of it. And as always, if you would like to become one of my sweethearts, hit the subscribe button. Hit that bell if you would like to get notified for all of my content, and make sure to give this video a like. Thank you guys very much for watching. I'll see you next time.